Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 3 of the series on the hunter's mindset or how to become an A player. And I want to continue our discussion with about our mental well-being and how to get our mentalities right to become A players. And yeah, so that's what I'll be discussing in this episode. And I'm going to start off by just mentioning that we are all products of our programming or our upbringing, our education, beliefs that were instilled by our parents, and traumatic past experiences that we had, our community, and our friends. So we have this programming in our brains, which sometimes is good and sometimes is bad. The good programming that we have is things like hard work, honesty, integrity, courage, self-discipline. I don't know if that's, again, my programming or me being biased, but I feel like these are small town values, working hard and being honest and having integrity and courage and self-discipline. And then the bad things that we've been programmed, like sloth and lying and being deceitful and being dishonest and having fear or lack of self-discipline. So, how do we unfuck ourselves? That is what we're going to discuss in this episode. And the way to do that is actually by just inverting our thought patterns. And it was a saying that Charlie Munger popularized. He said, invert, invert, always invert. I think it was a mathematician, a Dr. Davies or Jay, I don't know who he was, but Charlie Munger picked up on this. And the reason he said it, to invert, invert, always invert, is because our brains come up with negative ideas much easier than positive ones. For example, let's think about all the negative things that we need to do to fuck up our lives. So, a typical example would be, let's become drug addicts or alcoholics. In business, let's always be late for meetings. Um, let's always look busy and not actually do the work. Let's basically lie and not be honest. And then just invert that. Invert all these negative things, and that's how you become successful. Because our brains are conditioned to always think of negative things and always come up with problems and not the solutions are usually the inverse of the problems that we have. So, how do we be successful in life and in business and whatever? Is let's be honest and let's have integrity and let's always be early for meetings and let's work hard and not just look busy but actually put in the work to do things and get positive results. And let's train our bodies and our minds and put good things in there and stay away from the alcohol and the drugs, etc. So you get the gist of this, why we need to invert to break the programming in our minds. So let's discuss some false belief systems which I've seen, I've heard, and around the braais and discussions with friends and acquaintances and staff, some false belief systems that are often here. And one of them is, where I am in life is due to circumstances beyond my control. Society is usually right in their thinking regarding the education system, healthcare, etc. Now, all of this, you've probably heard. Most of what you see on news or on social media is true. Let me just drag this along here. When something is difficult, you should probably stop doing it. The rich people caught a lucky break somewhere along the way. If you fail at something, it's a sign that you should try something else. You should have many income streams or side hustles to become rich. And the truth is this: where you are or where I am in life is 100% by my own design. Where I am today is my choices, the results of my choices, my actions, everything I've done. It's not somebody else's fault. It's not circumstances' fault. It's not um, the BEE policy. It's not the fact that I grew up poor. It's 100% my fault. So, sure, bad things happen to good people. Kids get cancer. Why that happens? Honestly, don't know. Don't know why things like that would happen. But there's always a silver lining, and there's always a way that you can change the situation around. Society is usually wrong, and they've been brainwashed and manipulated by mass media. Do not believe what everybody says or does. Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett, the multi billionaires, drive Camrys because they know a car is the worst investment that you could ever make. They say when the tide is in, you should be out. Or when the tide is out, you should be in. So when everybody's buying, you should be selling. And when everybody's selling, you should be buying. And why do they do this? Because they know that society is usually always wrong. I never believe what anybody tells me. I always take it with a grain of salt. And I don't tell them I think you're lying. Obviously, I'm not rude or anything. I just double check all the facts. I do not always just accept what people tell me. The truth as well is that 90% of the news or stories on social media is a lie. Look, that's cowboy math. I just thumb suck that. But the majority of the stuff on news or social media is either a lie or clickbait or it's just there to distract you. And the best thing that you could do is probably get off social media and get off newspapers and news websites, etc. And then when something is difficult, it's a definite sign that you should pursue it. Everything in life is in a constant flux or constant pattern of decay. And everything in life is always going backwards. And the way to fight that and the way that you're going to fight that is by doing difficult things. It's called entropy. So if you buy a new car or a new house and you get it out of the box, brand new, it's just a question of time before that thing starts deteriorating. And you constantly need to upkeep it and fix it and keep it in a state of repair. Otherwise, it's just going to go to rubble and rust. And within a year or 10, it's going to be gone. It corrodes, it breaks down, and a sure sign that you're doing something right is that when it's difficult, because you're fighting that entropy. And then rich people don't just get lucky breaks. And again, generalizing, but they usually work their asses off, have a system, and work at it consistently. That famous footballer or rugby player wasn't an overnight success. That boxer that won the world title, it took him a minimum of 10 to 20 years probably to get that title shot, and then he knocked the guy out. It never happens overnight. All the late night work and training and stuff, nobody sees. It's like that Rocky cutscene where you see Rocky training and beating the meat, not beating the meat, when he pounds the carcass and he does his push-ups and he runs up the stairs and yay. That doesn't take 3 months. It takes 10 to 15 to 20 years for that boxer to get to that stage. They just show 5 minutes of it. They show 5 minutes of the hard work. And rich people don't just get rich. They follow a system, they work their asses off, and they do it consistently over a long period of time. If you fail at something, you learn something, you get better at something. If you start walking, you fall, you stand up, you walk again. You get a feedback loop. You failed, I did this wrong, go again, try something different. Imagine you fell when you first started walking and you said, this is too difficult, I'm not going to do it anymore. We would be in a world full of people crawling around on earth. That would have been really weird. And then this myth that to be truly successful, you need a bunch of side hustles, that's absolute rubbish. You need to minimize the distractions in your life and focus on one thing. Focus is so important, and we'll get into focus and distractions and things like that in later videos in the series. But one thing that I need to just reiterate now is that you concentrate on one thing, you do that one thing, nothing else. Okay, so let's go on about doing hard things. When something feels hard to do, like a workout or studying something new, most people give up and try something easier, and this is wrong. The only way to achieve a breakthrough is by pushing on until you succeed. So, like working out or like trying a new skill, learning a new skill, if it feels hard, you need to push through and get it done. And that's when you have breakthroughs. So I'll explain the value of despair concept in another slide. But I have a life hack that when I experience difficulty, um, so when I experience difficulty, when something's really hard to do, that's like the universe giving me a sign that I should go ahead and do this. Whenever something has been really difficult in my life and I went on and finished it, that's where at the other end of that difficulty, I had massive, massive success and breakthroughs. If you look at all the big companies like Amazon and Walmart and these guys, what they did was really, really difficult. Amazon said that they want the widest selection at the cheapest price, delivered the fastest. So they didn't just stop with stocking stuff in an online store and doing drop shipping. They actually started building the warehouses to ship these products from and keeping inventory. And then instead of just having DHL or whoever deliver the stock for them, they built their own fleet to deliver the stuff with their own planes. They've got the biggest fleet in the world to deliver products to clients. So who else would have thought of going that far? And that's why they're doing the turnover that they're doing. They didn't stop when things became difficult. They pushed through, broke through, went harder, and Jeff Bezos thought, if this is difficult, who else is going to do it? So I'm going to do it. And they really went and they, with hundreds of billions in turnover per year. So, like I mentioned, most people stop doing what they're doing if it's too difficult, and they call that the valley of despair. And this thing becomes a continuous loop of trying, failing, trying something new. So, try something, it's too difficult, let's stop with this, try something new. let's start an online store. This is too difficult. Let's stop. Let's try something new. Let's sell used cars. This is too difficult. Let's try something new. And people job hop and go from opportunity to opportunity and never really push through and become specialists. And also, this thing of working smarter, not harder, I don't know, really don't like that saying. I think you need to figure out and understand the work and do the difficult stuff, and then you can optimize it. Then you can work smarter. But you first need to do the difficult stuff, understand the work, and then work smarter. And then keep it simple, stupid. This is so important in your life and everything that you do is you need to remove noise. Noise to me is distractions. Anything that interrupts you from doing what you need to do. Go monk mode. Put everything off. Smart devices, phones. If you need to focus on doing the work, just do the work. Don't let anything else distract you. So here's the Valley of Despair, and this is Alex Hormozy that came up with this. So basically, there's 5 stages, and you have like emotional stages over time when you try something new. And stage 1 would be uninformed optimism, where you try something new, a new project, a new job, whatever, and your optimism level is in the middle, and you're uninformed about what you're going to do, and then you try that thing, and then all of a sudden, over a period of time, you move to stage 2, which is informed pessimism. You realize this is damn difficult what I'm trying to do, and then you try some more for a period of time, and you go to stage 3, which is the Valley of Despair, where you feel this is impossible, I can't do this, I'm going to give up. And usually this phase 1 to 3 repeats with most people. Again, cowboy math, but 90% of the guys out there don't push through the Valley of Despair. They just start with something new and then continuously repeat this loop of uninformed optimism. This is new, this is easy. Try it for a while, get pessimistic, go to the Valley of Despair, try something new, get pessimistic, try something new. And winners don't. Winners break through the Valley of Despair, learn it, learn the skill, get into informed optimism in stage 4, and then finally succeed and fulfill the goal. And that's where we need to get to push through to success. So let's start inverting. How can we fail at life and at this hunter's mindset thing? Now, take yourself way back to a caveman that needs to hunt the woolly mammoth and kill that woolly mammoth and feed your family and your tribe. So, how would this hunter fail? First thing that you do is he'd say he knows everything and he's got nothing new to learn. In other words, the more senior hunters, the mentors, the guys in the tribe that been there, done that, you don't ask them. You don't need to learn anything from them. That's a surefire way of failing. Secondly, the hunter doesn't ask questions, he tells stories. He tells everybody about his successes, what he did when he was a teenager, how he killed a buck when he was 18 years old, how he made the first team, how he played provincial this and provincial that, and he tells stories and he stops asking questions. The third way is to just watch this Hunter's Mindset videos, make notes, like you were at school or at college, jot everything down in a notebook, and not implement anything, and then blaming my advice and the advice in the course for your failure and not yourself. This is up to you. It's not up to the course. It's not up to anybody around you. Everything is up to you to succeed and accept it. That's life. That's how you're going to succeed, is by implementing. Then if you overcomplicate things, again, put yourself back into the hunter's shoes or sandals or whatever they wore in those days. There was no, okay, we're gonna dig a hole and then throw rocks into this hole and build a wall and then build a lasso and lasso the woolly mammoth's tusk and then get him to stumble over the rock and then from behind poke him. And it wasn't complex. A bunch of guys went and chased him off a cliff. Don't overcomplicate things. Get that woolly mammoth over a cliff so he falls to death. Just keep it simple. That's how they hunted these things. These things are huge. They'll kill you. Don't take chances and risks. And then finally, by being constantly distracted when going through these videos and stuff, and life. If you're constantly distracted, that's where issues happen. Imagine Bob, the tribal hunter leading the woolly mammoth hunt, got poked on his shoulder and said, listen, there's a message from home. Your wife just wants you to, on your way back after killing the woolly mammoth, stop at the river and fill the clay pots with water. And then Bob, okay, thanks, I'll do that. And then as he's going and he wants to chase it, and then he gets another poke on the shoulder. And listen, and also Clara at home, just ask if you can pick some of the berries on your way. That's not how it works. And this is what cell phones does, constantly interrupting us with bells and chimes and red dots, and it's just you're never going to be able to hunt that woolly mammoth if that's how your life looks. So let's talk about some fallacies. What I've also heard, perfectionism sucks. Everything doesn't need to be perfect, but some fallacies, I'm going to read them quickly. Everything needs to be perfect. People are going to judge me if I fail. That's what people think. People care about myself and my feelings. It's good enough if I just show up at work or wherever at the event I should be, or always advance your mastery. Become more advanced in what you do. Become a specialist and a triple specialist and another degree and another and another and another. And then the best planning systems are computer-based and full of bells and whistles and little alarms and things that go off when you're planning. Here's the truth. Usually the minimum required effort is good enough. Just get the product out, then make it better. Most people don't even do this. They don't even release the product or the service or the thing that they're going to sell, or the project, or the report, or the whatever, the website, the thing that they need to produce. Just put the effort in to get the thing out and then make it better. Publish it, release a shitty product, make it better. Because you're going to get stuck in the details and not want to get it out. And then it's going to go over and over. And obviously, yeah. So people do not care if you fail. They only care about themselves. Just get used to that. You're going to fail tons and people don't care, really. They worry about themselves. People don't care about your feelings. They only care about themselves. Get used to that. Moaning that you had a bad day or a shitty week or that you're in financial troubles, they don't care. They really just care about themselves. Get used to that. I used to moan at one of my clients, and one day literally told me, I really do not care. Go tell that to somebody else. It was eye-opening. I thought he was actually somebody that was listening to all my problems. He wasn't. The only people that really care, and that, what's the concept is unconditional love, are your kids and your family, and up to a point as well. But the only people that I really, really, really care about and expect nothing back from, and I know this might be controversial, is my kids and my direct family. And yeah, So just get over that fact. People don't care about you. Okay, let's rather say 80% of the population. There are people that do care, like nurses and people like that. That's their personality. And then life isn't about participation trophies, only the best win. If you participate in an event and you come fourth and fifth and sixth, that doesn't matter. You're not going to win. You're not going to get money. Only the best win. So prepare yourself. Life's a struggle. It's going to be hard. Deal with the facts. Get over yourself. If you lose, you don't get a medal. It's as simple as that. Complexity and becoming better and better and better and better and more specialized at something is actually not how people win. The best practice the basics on a daily basis. The Springboks practice the basics, the scrums and the lineouts. Michael Jordan practiced shooting from the chest and shooting hoops. The basics, the basics. No fancy slam dunks and things like that. As long as he could do the basics, good. It became ingrained in him, and that makes you good. So, what Google call it is T-shaped people, where they're good at a lot of things, but they go deep. So they know a lot about a lot, and then they specialize and go deep. So if you can get as much of the basics down as possible, that's great. That's where you need to get to. And then when you're planning and setting goals, there are no computer systems that's going to help you with that. All these fancy Franklin Covey planners and diaries and whatever, nothing beats a notepad and a pencil. Get it on paper. Sam Walton from Walmart did everything on a yellow legal pad and a pen. And he built a $650 billion company, annual turnover company, with a yellow legal pad and a pen. You don't need anything more than that. Don't overcomplicate planning and figuring things out. No computer systems are good enough. Just use a paper and a pencil. It's good enough. Then just a quick word on focus and distraction. Courtesy of Sam Evans, he drew this much better than I managed to. But if this circle represents yourself and your focus and your attention, and this is where the side hustle thing comes in as well. If you have many little things that you're giving your attention to, many side hustles, many projects, you'll probably be able to like give a little bit of time to each and every one. Whereas if you have one primary objective and goal that you concentrate on, look at the difference in attention. If the arrows represent the progress that you're going to make towards your goal, one, it'll probably be off the paper, the amount of progress that you'll be able to make. Whereas if you've got all these little distractions and things that you're busy with, mails and notifications and things that you have to give attention to, that's all going to take away from your attention and your progress towards your end goal. Much better to focus on one thing and get that done and finished and ticked off and make massive progress towards that. And that basically is the end of episode 3 on how to unfuck ourselves. I think that the amount of distractions and things that we have in our lives and the programming that we have in our lives that take us totally off course is something that we need to break free from. And all the fallacies and the myths that we've been programmed with, we need to break. And one of the most difficult ones is to understand that you're not going to get a participation trophy or get anywhere in life by coming second and third, and the way, sorry, by by being last, and the way to really break through is to concentrate your effort and your focus on one thing and get that one thing done. So until next time, thank you for listening, and we'll chat soon.